Welcome back to the land of the seven suns. With me, Fishy Plantman, as your host. Alright, it appears that another one of my plants has found a home. I didn't even know this one was looking, but yeah. I was talking to somebody last night and they said that they used to have some lucky bamboo and they would like to get it again. And I thought, well, this start is not here because I wanted another plant. This start of lucky bamboo is just the result of, preservation of the adult plant. So, yeah, I think it can go. It's pretty good timing, really, because if we look down into the ugly cage, it is starting roots, but they haven't found that mesh yet. So they're not going through it. Great time to rehome the plant, It doesn't need to be cut free and, no problems at all. So, yep. You will notice that those are white roots, not orange. I have a theory. Well, it's kind of two theories, because it could be one or the other. But I have noticed people seem to think that the orange roots are what this plant grows. Nice, healthy orange roots. You may have heard that before. Well, no. After growing this plant for, about 10 years, I have noticed that I don't get orange roots from my cuttings. I get white roots. White roots that at some point turn greeny. They get a green color. Now, I guess they could be photosynthesizing and turning green because they need to be green to photosynth. That word. I think I got enough of it out that you know what I'm referring to. But it could also be algae, which whatever you want to call it, growing on the roots. So, there's those two theories. I guess there's technically four theories here. Because two could be right, yeah. So, they're either turning green to photosynthesize. I think I got it that time. Or they're just, growing things on the roots. So, the orange color could be something they're feeding the plant. Yeah, I don't think I need it. Or it could be something they're putting on the roots to kill the algae or whatever's growing on them. I don't seem to need that either. The plant, if it's things growing on the roots, algae or whatever, the plants seem to deal with it just fine. Okay, this is a cutting, like all of the plain cuttings. This is a cutting off this plant over here. Okay. So it's 4 or 5 feet, especially if you straighten out that bend. And there's where the cutting came from. But this is a very old plant. I don't know of I know of people they say they've been growing this plant for, 10 plus years or whatever. But it's in spurts. I certainly haven't seen a plant that I can confirm is this old. And I haven't seen one that looks like it's big enough to be this old. Like I said, this is about 4 feet, especially stretched out. This other one, which was growing straight, it was way up here at the 6 foot mark. So, yeah, and it could be more. I'm looking at this stand, and these 2 foot sections don't really look like they're 2 feet. They look like they might be a little bit more. But at any rate, it's a very old plant. I've taken cuttings before. Down here, there's a cutting that died, but also a cutting that's still growing. And the reason I show you this older plant, it currently, kind of hard to tell, and I don't know. Sorry. Didn't plan this through very well at all. Okay. There's some of its roots off of this side anyway. And they have that green color to them. And the base of the plant is about 10 years old. So if roots die off, it replaces them. It doesn't seem to need anything other than what it's getting. They're not orange anymore. When I got these 2 plants, well, there was 3, but I seem to have lost one. When I got them, they did have orangey roots. But over time, they were replaced with roots that do go green, but yeah, they do just fine. So I don't worry about it. But no, my lucky bamboo doesn't have orange roots. Naturally, they come out white, and they do change. Whichever way, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I'm finding success. I've got some theories as to what's going on. Like I say, could very well be algae or whatever growing on them, but I'm not worried. I've got pretty old plants that are only getting older. For example, that lucky bamboo is older than the dog I'm about to show you. Not this, but the other one. Yep. She used to have tan eyebrows and tan lips. Ebony, look at the camera again. You don't see any tan anymore. She's only 8 or 9, I think, maybe, if I think about it. That back used to be solid black. Yep. That kind of gives you an idea, maybe, of what 10 years looks like. Like I say, this is just a recent cutting, but the mother plant is getting some age. And whatever causes that orange, I'm sure, from taking cuttings, I've taken this cutting recently. This cutting's quite a bit older. Most of the cuttings ended up not dying because I failed, although the one failure that I tried is on video. Most of them I took out, put on the community mailboxes, and hoped people would pick them up and start plants of their own. Other people in that community. They never did. The plants would, just die, bleach out in the sun or get cold, whatever, and just die. So I don't have a whole lot. As a matter of fact, right now I've only got 2 cuttings. The other cutting, that's the one that failed. The other recent cutting. And then there's one I gave away. But I've taken cuttings over the decade. And with the exception of that one, anyone that I've wanted is taken. So yeah, quite a few cuttings have came off the plants, mainly because they get just so big. I would let them grow more or less, and this is actually the tank that the older plants used to be in. I would let them grow until they started coming out, toward me. When they started invading the living area and not growing up or over at the window, because this tank used to sit in a window at the old place, that's when they would get cuts, when they started intruding out in front. So they'd get cut, go out on the mailbox most of the time, and die there. But that was okay. I was hoping somebody would pick them up and take them in, but if not, they died. And yeah, I think all of them died. Nobody seemed to want lucky bamboo in that community. Alright, fine. Whoa, okay. I have started rambling. But yeah, they're not orange. And there's no reason for them to be, in my opinion. Talk to you next time.